All right, so this one right here confused a lot of people because it didn't have two x-intercepts on there, so people were kind of hard to choose. I think you did pretty good on identifying the max and the min probably, but you probably had issues writing the equation. So let's talk about this a second. And once again, this represents a picture of number 3 on your worksheet, and so therefore you might want to look at that, or I'm going to do my best to draw it as best as possible on here so you can see what we got. All right, and so this one right here was very clear that it came from -4 on the x-axis. Okay, so our vertex is going to be -4, comma 0. All right, it's also the only place where the graph hits the x-axis, so our x-intercepts, we only have one, but we could have wrote it -4, 0, and -4, 0. We only have to write it one time, though, but some of us might have wrote it twice. But those represents our x-intercepts and our vertex, and so therefore, are we going to have a max or a min?
Max.
We're going to have a max, and the max is going to equal what?
0. No.
-4. Okay? It's the highest that it can go up. Okay, so is our max equaling -4? Is that as high as it going up? What measures height? The x-axis or the y-axis? The y-axis. Our x-axis is at -4, and so you were correct in the fact that it's going to go up to 0 because it's not going to exceed the 0 on the y-axis, correct?
Yeah.
And so what is our axis of symmetry? X is going to equal -4 because it's going to be that dotted line that can pass through there, right? And so from there we got to write the vertex form, and this is vertex form. I hope we don't forget what this is because we haven't worked with it a ton this week. We worked with it a ton last week, but that's the vertex form of the equation, and only one piece of it we already have. What piece do we have? What piece do we have of this vertex form? The h and the k, right? So this is going to become +4 squared, and the k is going to be what? +0. That makes my life easier because I don't even have to worry about anything outside of there. So now here's where our issue entailed is because we were using the x-intercept for our x and our y. So we're going to have to look at the graph, and I'm going to show you a picture of the graph, and I'll show you what point I used, okay? And so here's our graph for number 3, and so what I did is I chose the point -2, -4 right here. Even though that's not completely exact, I think what you said, y'all chose -2, -3. -2, -3, is that what y'all chose on this one? That's fine. I just chose -2, -4 because it's the easiest to see where it crosses because we're estimating anyway because this is not 1, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s on our boxes. Okay? And so to get the answer that I had on the answer sheet, I chose the point -2, -4. Okay? So all you have to have is the vertex and another point. It didn't say it had to be the x-intercept. We were just using the x-intercept because that gave us some different points. And so this is my x, this is my y, and so this is going to be -2 for my x to find a equals -4. And now from there, it's just algebra. Okay, so I'm going to go through the algebra for us. -4 is going to come down. This is going to be a. Inside of my parentheses becomes 2 squared. The 0 is going to go away. We got -4 equals a times 4. And so therefore my a is going to equal -1. Okay? Now if you use the -2, -3, you'll probably have a little bit of a fraction there. Okay? And so when I get this, and this is what I saw some of your papers too. Some of you made this comment that, was I supposed to take the a and write an equation? Well, yes. We take this. We did all the work to find out what the leading coefficient is. Now we need to write it in a equation form, and so I have y equals, why does the x and the y have to stay? Anybody tell me that? Why does the x and the y have to stay in the equation? It's your domain and range. It allows for an input to generate an output.